Y'all get ready?
Yes, you get ready.
If you want the latest news in the streets, join us and tune in for the tea. Breaking news with integrity. So tell your friends and your family. It's the Lovelyti TV show, bringing you good tea and good vibes. It's the Lovelyti TV show. Be sure to share, like, and subscribe.
Hey tea sippers, so it has been a lot that's gone on since my last live stream on Friday. So honestly, Friday, I think we all went to bed with like a natural high. Like, you know what? This was one of the most successful protests across the nation in recent times. 50,000 people in total showed up to downtown Minneapolis. That was between the downtown areas, the skyways, and everything else. And we were like on a high. And then literally Saturday morning, we're all here at the house and our phones start blowing up, start getting tagged. There's been a shooting on 26 and Nicollet over there on Eat Street. We call it Eat Street because it's a lot of like different ethnic restaurants over there. So if you want, Vietnamese food, Jamaican food, Ethiopian, Somali food, it's all there on Eat Street. And it's not too far from where my mother-in-law lives. So at this point, I'm just like, what the hell? It's another shooting. We go on Facebook, we post it on Instagram. And it's just like, I can't believe this is happening again. Not even 2 weeks ago, we had Renee Good. Now we have this man that's just been killed, okay? And within not even an hour of the shooting, before people even knew his name, you had Kristi Noem and Greg Bovino basically on the news lying, saying that he was coming out there with a gun. He was there to kill agents. Spinning these lies. And then you had all these fucking stupid ass MAGA influencers regurgitating the bullshit before this man's blood was even cold. It was so disgusting to watch people who are supposed to be supposed professionals just sit and blatantly lie. And then to watch these paid, influencers, because that's what a lot of them are. They're just paid to just spew bullshit at this point. Just run with the lies before there's been any investigation, before any other angles came out. But then the angles came out, and we saw what we already knew here in the Twin Cities, that this man did not do anything wrong. He was a law-abiding citizen. He was an ICU nurse. He was an ICU nurse at the Veterans Clinic, which means that this man was overworked and underpaid. If you know anything about those veterans clinics, it's a lot of work to deal with. Then you're not dealing with normal citizens. Some of these veterans have mental health issues, PTSD. So you have to have a certain level of patience to be able to deal with those types of people, especially when they're going through, medical situations. And they're not heavily paid well. So this man lived a life of service. And they literally called him a domestic terrorist. So then at that point, people were livid. Everybody was over south. And again, we're dealing with negative 20-degree weather. It got kind of crazy. They started even pepper spraying the press, hitting people with rubber bullets. It was chaotic. So I'm just like, let me just go ahead and kind of do some flashbacks of what was going on Saturday, and then we'll talk about what's going on this morning, because now, see, these mofos are having to walk things back. They're having to now ask for calm and let us do the investigation. But you guys didn't want an investigation. You guys wanted to spin a narrative. At this point, the city's a ticking time bomb. But let me go ahead and play you guys these clips.
Your attention is very important to us, Truman.
An individual approached U.S. Border Patrol agents with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. The agents attempted to disarm the individual, but he violently resisted.
The world is literally a stage. Do you understand? Her and Greg Bovino are literally reading off of the same fucking script. This is why that young man at the beginning called this the Truman Show. You can't make this mess up. This man was protecting a woman. You know, the same way people say chivalry's dead, men don't look out for women anymore. The ICE agents pushed 2 women to the ground in the snow. He got in to intervene, and he was pepper sprayed and jumped. I have every angle. I'm not going to play every angle, but I have every angle of the video. I have him being jumped, being stomped out, kicked in the face. It's insane the way this man was treated and then executed in the streets of Minneapolis. You can see they removed
fearing for his life and the lives and safety of fellow officers.
An agent fired.
A Border Patrol agent fired defensive shots.
Fearing for his life, he shot the gun, Truman. Fearing for his life, he shot the gun, Truman. Fearing for his life, he shot the gun, Truman. When are you going to scroll away? Your attention is not needed here. You are safe, Truman. This is temporary, Truman. The situation is under control, Truman. Experts are handling it, Truman. Now is not the time, Truman. This is for your protection, Truman. Scroll and don't share, Truman. Scroll and don't share, Truman. Scroll and don't share, Truman. It wasn't you this time.
This lady is literally a documented liar. They found clips of her where she claimed that she met Kim Jong-un. This woman will lie about anything. And one thing I've been raised to believe is to never trust a liar or a thief.
You talk about meeting some world leaders and one specific one. Quote, I remember when I met with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un, I'm sure he underestimated me, having no clue about my experience staring down little tyrants. I've been a children's pastor after all. Did you meet Kim Jong-un?
Well, you know, as soon as this was brought to my attention, I certainly made some changes and looked at this passage, and I've met with...
She almost looks like a reptilian. And I don't go in on people's looks. She looks demonic. There's no soul there. She's willing to lie and cover up and just make up stuff as she goes. I'm sorry, but all I feel right now is just pure evil.
Many world leaders. I've traveled around the world. As soon as it was brought to my attention, we went forward and have made some edits. So I'm glad that this book is being released in a couple of days and that those edits will be in place and that people will have the updated version.
So you did not meet with Kim Jong-un? That's what you're saying?
No, I've met with many world leaders. Many world leaders. I've traveled around the world. I think I've talked extensively in this book about my time serving in Congress, my time as governor, before governor, some of the travels that I've had. I'm not going to talk about my specific meetings with world leaders. I'm just not going to do that.
She never answers questions. She always answers questions with another question. This lady does nothing but lie.
One lie here that no one's talking about that I really need everyone to understand the importance of, especially if you don't live in Minneapolis right now. He wasn't at a protest. The protest was the day before. This is just what Minneapolis is like now. This is them in Uptown. There they are at our schools. It's just your neighborhood. Quick stop at my favorite restaurant, which is now a makeshift medical center. But they keep pushing this narrative that any Minnesotan who's existing outside, daring to film federal agents, which is their constitutional right, is now a protester, is now an agitator, because their narrative is that protesting your government is somehow now un-American, inherently dangerous, and inherently wrong. So they're making sure to both attack your First Amendment rights and Alex's Second Amendment rights all at the same time. This is a protester showing up to a protest, brandishing a weapon in a...
And he was deemed a hero by the right. It's very interesting how the NRA is not speaking up. This was a licensed gun owner. Alex was. NRA is not speaking. You have all these Second Amendment gun right nuts. They're all quiet. But they were all cheering this on with this 17-year-old kid, Kyle Rittenhouse. And the thing is, people need to understand, like she said, this is just Minneapolis. It's not a protest. You're literally walking outside your home. Like I said, that's called Eat Street for a reason. He's probably going on Eat Street to, oh my God, shocker, to get something to fucking eat. It's called Eat Street. So as he's walking down Eat Street, he's seeing some chaos unfold, and he decides to pull out his phone and record like we all do in this day and age. So people are saying, well, why was he there? It's Eat Street, maybe to get something to eat. It's a Saturday. People are off on Saturdays. God forbid people just want to get a break from their 9 to 5 and just, go get out the house. That's a crime now?
A threatening way that killed people. This is a man existing in Minneapolis, exercising his constitutional rights, threatening no one, and just having to exist under federal occupation that none of us Minnesotans asked for. One lie here that no one's talking about.
So she made some good points. It's like this woman is just constantly caught up in lies. They were even calling this a riot. What riot? This was on Eat Street. There were no riots going on. The only people who were out there acting a fool was ICE.
This is Mary Turner, President of National Nurses United. But more importantly, I'm an ICU nurse right here in the Metro. And we're at the site where one of our own nurses, Alec Pretti, was murdered. He was a VA nurse, an ICU nurse, that cared for our most venerated patients, our veterans. And that day, he was just doing like what every nurse does, care for the patients and care for the people. And that's what he was doing when he was murdered. Nurses across this country, we need to stand up and say enough is enough. We need to fight back, because these are our patients and these are the people, and that's who we care about. This is who we care for. And so we have to do everything in our power to fight ICE and get them out of our communities. We need to make our patients and our people safe again. This is Mary Turner.
So a lot of people are saying that, there's over 5 million nurses in the U.S. That's a lot of power if the nurses and doctors decide to go on strike. But, who knows if that will really happen, especially with nurses in the red states. That can be kind of hard. But, it's just, this has taken a huge toll on the community here. Later on that day, there was a huge protest. Now, as y'all know in the Discord, my youngest, one of his jobs is he works at the Target Center. He does security for Timberwolves and stuff like that. We've seen him on the court with AE. We all laughed about that video I had posted in Discord. So he had to go to work Saturday, and I was extremely concerned because a shooting had just happened. And he was like, well, they have a game today. And so he was getting ready to go, and then they ended up canceling Saturday's game due to the shooting and everything that was going on. So they ended up rescheduling the game against the Warriors yesterday. So he was down there working. He said a lot of people were trying to come in with their ice signs, but they told them that they couldn't bring that in. So either you had to throw them away or go put them back in your car. But he said the energy was so different. It was just like a solemn, sad energy. But shout out to the Minnesota Timberwolves for doing a moment of silence for Alex Pretti. And during that moment of silence, because nobody could bring in their signs, you heard people saying, fuck ice. They also ended up interviewing Steph and Curry. They interviewed AE as well. So I'm going to go ahead and play you guys some of those clips right now.
We extend our love, support, and heartfelt sympathies to Alex's family, friends, and our community during this difficult time. Please join us in honoring the life and memory of Alex Pretti with a moment of silence.
All the way down. It was like 3 straight hours. Negative 10-degree weather. It was beautiful to see that turnout. That speaks to how important people felt to have their voice heard. And those elements, and whatever streets right outside our hotel, they were out. It was amazing to watch.
So your day yesterday, were you part of the conversation on the game should have gone on or not?
I talked to Coach, who was talking to obviously the Timberwolves organization, and it was very similar to. It's hard to catch up to everything that's going on here in the community when you just fly in and you understand what's going on, but how it affects players, the staff, the entire franchise, the families. And just supporting them in whatever decision made sense. Obviously, talking to the league, so that was pretty much it.
Just a message to that community.
Man, I just love Minnesota. All the love and support that they show me, so I'm behind with whatever they would. And I don't really have social media, so I'm not in tune with everything. But I've heard about the stuff that's going on, so me and my family definitely praying for everybody.
I got a call from Chris Finch during our coaches meeting yesterday. I had already gotten a couple of texts from Mike Dunleavy telling me that the league was thinking about postponing the game, and then Chris called me, we talked, and I told him we didn't have a great sense of anything, that we were really going to lean on them. It's their city, and I talked to Joe Ingles. He called me kind of to tell me that all their players were feeling really uneasy about everything. And so I told Chris and Joe, we trust you guys, we trust the league, whatever makes the most sense. So ultimately, obviously the game was postponed. I totally agree with the decision. Everything should be about safety and concern for not only the players and the fans, but everybody here in Minneapolis with what's going on.
How much have you been following the news?
I've been following everything. It's very sad. This has always been a great stop on the NBA tour. I love the city of Minneapolis. The people here are wonderful, and it's very sad what's happening. I feel for the city. There's a pall that has been cast over the city. You can feel it, and a lot of people are suffering. Obviously, loss of life is the number one concern. Those families will never get their family members back. And, when all the unrest settles down, whenever that is, those family members won't be returning home. And that's devastating.
Because what has the emotion been like just around the team as all this is unfolding? How would you describe that?
I think, we met yesterday during actually 2 days ago, we met when we arrived. We had a film session from the night before, and we could see 20,000 people from our hotel view, from my room. You could see the streets body to body. And so we met as a team and, talked a little bit about what was going on and, just to be safe, be careful. And, And then obviously we thought we were going to play yesterday and didn't meet because of the time of the game. And then we started to get word, and that's when, some of the players were already over here warming up, and so a lot of them stayed and just got workouts in, that sort of thing, and then waited until today, and here we are.
Outside of Mark Ruffalo and Ariana Grande, it's been pretty crickets.
The world's completely lost its mind. I mean, I don't know what's happening in the United States. I'm so sad. I can't pretend like this is an insane. We have stormtroopers on the streets of America terrorizing people. They're not making people any safer. They're terrorizing people. They're killing innocent people. The rents are still high. There's no food. Food's expensive. People can't feed their kids. They can't send them to school. They can't get sick or they're going to end up dead because they can't afford health care. Something's really wrong here, and I don't know what the answer is, but the world's not better with this guy, this madman in office who just told the world that there is no international law concerning him. The only thing that concerns him is his morality. He has no morality. He's a rapist. He's a pedophile. He's a felon, and we're in a lot of trouble if his morality is what we're relying on.
And it's very interesting because especially in the hip hop community, we haven't really heard, anyone speaking out either. So at least the sports entertainers are not speaking out. I've been seeing a few more celebrities speaking out on social media, but this was only after the killing on Saturday. For the most part, they have been quiet. Tim Walz has spoken out. A lot of people are speaking about it today, Monday morning. There's definitely a walk back from the administration, which is very interesting to watch. How now they're trying to walk things back because this has pissed off a lot of people, especially people who are pro-gun, pro-Second Amendment, and people who have common sense and who have watched the video from different angles. And regardless of what side of the aisle you're on, you refuse to listen to the lies and you're going to believe your eyes. So we're going to watch some of those clips now.
Okay.
What stood out to me was a parent's desire and their passion to make sure that the story of Alex was told. Someone who went to work to care for veterans, someone who was a valued coworker, someone who relished and lived in this state in a big way, whether it was outdoor activities or being down there on the street as a First Amendment witness to what ICE is doing to this state. So once again, to Michael and Susan, when I talk to these parents, it's always in deep confidential conversation. In this one, though, Michael was very clear to me. He said, don't let them forget Alex's story. The world knows how he died. He died at the hands of ICE agents on the streets of Minneapolis. They want us to make sure we said how he lived. So to Michael and Susan, our deepest sympathies, but you have my commitment to continue to tell that story. So now we've got 2 Minnesotans dead. We didn't had time to start telling Renee's story of a poet and a mother and a bright spirit, and now we're telling Alex's story. So my question is, what's the plan, Donald Trump? What is the plan? What do we need to do to get these federal agents out of our state? You thought fear, violence, and chaos is what you wanted from us, and you clearly underestimated the people of this state and nation. We are tired, but we're resolved. We're peaceful, but we'll never forget. We're angry, but we won't give up hope. And above all else, we are clearly unified. If it was the intention of Donald Trump to make an example of Minnesota, then I'm damn proud of the example that the world's seeing. We believe in law and order in this state. We believe in peace. And we believe that Donald Trump needs to pull these 3,000 untrained agents out of Minnesota before they kill another person. And we're up here telling another story of a Minnesotan just trying to live their life without the interference. To Americans who are watching this right now, and I don't know, maybe you're watching it with curiosity, bewilderment, horror, scorn, or sympathy. I've got a question for all of you. What side do you want to be on? The side of an all-powerful federal government that can kill, injure, menace, and kidnap its citizens off the streets? Or on the side of a nurse at the VA hospital who died bearing witness to such government? Or the side of a mother whose last words were, "I'm not mad at you"? The side of tens of thousands of peaceful citizens who showed up to march when the wind chill was 40 below because they love this state and they love this country. You're allowed to decide at any point that you're not with this anymore. If you voted for this administration, heck, even if you thought Operation Metro Surge was a good idea, sounded like the thing to do a month ago, you're still allowed to look at what's happening here in Minnesota and say, this isn't what I voted for and this isn't what I want. I ask you not to stand by idly. Speak out, share what you're seeing, and urge others to put politics aside. We're no longer having a political debate, we're having a moral debate. We all want secure borders and immigration enforcement that prioritizes criminals. And I want to thank the press, especially the local press, who has done a deep dive to show that's exactly what Minnesota does. But what you're seeing is not common sense, lawful, or humane enforcement. That's not what this occupation is about. Let me say, our conversation should not be about, and I know we get asked of what we're doing on there, how many state patrol or police or National Guard I can put on the street. This isn't about how many people I can put on the street. It's about how many of these people, these ICE agents and whoever else was thrown into this unholy mess, how many Donald Trump can get out of here. Minnesotans, you've won the hearts and minds of people across this country, and you've done it through your peaceful, resolved defense of your neighbors and the Constitution.
Stop the ICE surge in our state as people continue to mourn the Minneapolis man who was shot and killed by ICE agents on Saturday. 37-year-old Alex Pretti, he was an ICU nurse at the VA hospital who worked with veterans. The Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem immediately came out and said that Border Patrol acted in self-defense and claims that Pretti approached Border Patrol officers with a handgun. But videos from the scene show Pretti was holding a cell phone, not a gun, when he was shot. Plus, sworn declarations submitted in federal court by witnesses contradict key points of the events that we are hearing from federal officials. Now, within 24 hours of the deadly shooting of Alex Pretti, the lead Border Patrol official has changed his tone.
After making strong claims Saturday, Gregory Bovino is now urging the public to stop speculating and wait for an investigation. Our Barrett Leone is live at the Growing Memorial. That's at 26th and Nicollet with the latest. Barrett, what changed over the weekend?
Hey, good morning, AJ, Heather. Well, we know within 24 hours, federal officials seem to flip the script here. We heard from the Border Patrol boss, Gregory Bovino, and he is urging patience. He's also asking the public to stop making judgments and wait for a thorough investigation. Now, this comes, all of this comes as many videos with different angles are being shared publicly, and it's also really a stark contrast from what he told reporters just hours after Alex Pretti's death on Saturday. So yesterday, Bovino said he would not speculate about what led agents to opening fire, saying investigators needed time to determine what actually happened. He encouraged the public to do the same. Now, this tone marks a shift from Saturday when Bovino described the incident as an intentional attack on law enforcement. Take a listen.
This looks like a situation where an individual wanted to do maximum damage and massacre law enforcement. I'm not going to speculate on who did what, when they did it, how they did it, or what exactly occurred there. I'm going to wait for the investigation to let me know what happened.
And we are here at 26th and Nicollet, where Alex Pretti was killed. Just beyond that white van, there is a growing memorial. We've seen a few folks come out here to drop off flowers, add to that memorial. We also know that Bovino has said agents are still on the job working in other locations during this investigation, and we still do have questions about who's leading the investigation and how that will all play out. Of course, we will continue to press for answers on that.
So you guys just saw some of those clips. So like I said, they're walking back a lot of stuff. So you guys just saw the news coverage. So before I go, I just want to show you guys some of the things that Alex Pretti did at his hospital for the veterans that passed away.
Terrence Lee Randolph, March 30th, 1947, December 10th, 2024. Today we remember that freedom is not free. We have to work at it, nurture it, protect it, and even sacrifice for it. May we never forget and always remember our brothers and sisters who have served so that we may enjoy the gift of freedom. So in this moment, we remember and give thanks for their dedication and selfless service to our nation in the cause of our freedom. In this solemn hour, we render our honor and our gratitude.
So you guys just saw that video of him and how he did his job honorably, and he honored veterans who passed away. So breaking news, the story is falling apart, and Aaron is speaking on it. So we're gonna go ahead and watch what Aaron has to say that's going on right now as of 20 minutes ago.
We have major news right now. The Trump administration's narrative on Alex Pretty's murder has fallen apart, so much so this morning that Todd Blanche, the Deputy Attorney General, was asked whether or not Pretty was a domestic terrorist or engaged in domestic terrorism on Fox, and he couldn't answer. He wouldn't say yes. That's completely different from what Kristi Noem and Stephen Miller were claiming just hours after Pretty's murder. But not just that. According to Politico, a Department of Homeland Security official sent an email alert with incorrect and contradictory information to congressional Republicans just hours after Pretty's murder. The email described the incident as, quote, between U.S. Border Patrols and an illegal alien with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. Alex Pretty was a U.S. citizen. Heads are going to roll over the Department of Homeland Security's failures here. The Trump administration is not happy with what's happening, and, well, they're even walking back their own narrative. It looks like Kristi Noem and Greg Bovino may be on the chopping block. Spread the word. Follow for more.
All right, Tea Sippers. So that is what is going on currently in the Twin Cities. This weekend was just a lot, just mentally, emotionally. It was a lot going on. But, you know, all we can do is stay prayed up and stay peaceful, I guess. But yeah, please leave a comment down below. Feel free to share this video and let me know your thoughts on everything that's gone on. I see a lot of other cities are also protesting. I saw protesters in Chicago and Portland, and you know, I'm really happy that a lot of cities are standing with the Twin Cities. So I will talk to you guys later. Leave a comment down below. Bye.
If you want the latest news in the streets, join us and tune in for the tea. Breaking news with integrity. So tell your friends and your family. It's the Lovelyti TV show, bringing you good tea and good vibes. It's the Lovelyti TV show. Be sure to share, like, and subscribe.